talking about the OrangeShadez podcast with Airese, Currie, and me, your little guy named Jay. First of all, we want to thank Arden's Burger and Grill. Of course, we're in the Arden's Burger and Grill studios here at their restaurant, and we appreciate everything that Donnie and Angie does for us. Of course, you want to come in today. Today is Friday, which is Burger Day. They got all the best burgers you can ever have. We got everything from all pulled pork. We got a peach burger, which is the Carolina peach burger. It has bacon, grilled peaches, Swiss cheese, and a sweet peach brandy sauce. You gotta try that. A patriotic burger. All kinds of burgers. You gotta come down to Arden's Burger and Grill here in Central South Carolina. And once again, today's Burger Day, but they have everything from hibachi. They've got appetizers, egg rolls, dumplings, sriracha chicken bites, chicken nuggets, you name it, they have it. Also want to thank Clemson Wine Bar at Patrick Square. They do a great bit for us, and we want to thank them. We also want to thank Upstate Physical Therapy in Anderson, South Carolina. Go by Steve, Jimmy, and David. They will take care of you. We want to thank Pepsi Cola, and we want to thank TrueVictory.com. With that said, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. He is former great Clemson wide receiver, Airese Currie. How we doing, Airese?
Doing well today, Jay. How about yourself?
Can't complain. It's a great Friday, and of course tomorrow is home for the Clemson Tigers, and it can't come quick enough, Airese. Very disappointing week last week. Lost to NC State. It's like we keep going into these games, and just when you think we've turned the corner, we go backwards. And it's not like the defense didn't play their heart out. The offense, it's weird. The offense between the 20s can play well, but once they get inside the 20, it's just like what happened to them?
Right. We're having a hard time this season just finishing in the green zone, what I like to call it, just scoring touchdowns. And then as we've talked about on previous shows, as far as what we were like 116th or something in the country as far as like red zone offense or something like that. I would imagine that number has gotten worse at this point in the season. We got to figure it out. And what better week to start tomorrow against Notre Dame? Notre Dame are coming in, fired up, but I still have faith in our organization.
And plus, then we also had the distraction between Dabo and a phone caller. If you can do better as a coach, you coach the team, huh?
That was hilarious.
There's actually people out there that think that was staged to get the onus off the players and then on the Dabo himself. I don't think that was staged. I don't think there's no way to stage something like that. I just think it was a random caller, and he was just stating his displeasure, and then Dabo basically gave him his displeasure back. So
I heard what Coach Boyd used to say, he went Old Testament and got an Old Testament response.
We know Dabo's good for that, ain't it? All right, well, let's get into our show this week. Of course, we lost to NC State last week, and what was your thoughts, Airese, on the game total?
I mean, statistically, we dominated the football game, but once again, turnovers crippled us. And causing us, I think, to lose a football game. I mean, you just cannot win football games turning the football over, which we have definitely got to get that addressed if we want to finish up above 500 this year. we definitely got to get a hold on those turnovers.
Yeah, because there's 4 games left, and we need to win at least 2 to be bowl eligible.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. We 21 we dominated first down comparison to 21 first downs compared to their 13 passes for first down. I mean, 364 total yards of offense versus their 202. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but once again, the thing that keeps sticking out to me, Jay, that I've seen, and this is a consecutive theme now,
be easier. In walks in Notre Dame ranked out of South Bend. Of course, games that going to be at 12 o'clock this Saturday. Notre Dame right now is 7-2. Just had a huge win over Pittsburgh, 58-7. Pittsburgh they're not a great team, but they've had some big wins this year. Yeah.
They're scrappy. They always play us scrappy.
Exactly. And of course, the 7 wins that Notre Dame has is Navy, Central Michigan, Tennessee State, NC State, Duke, Southern Cal, and Pitt. So they've played some pretty good teams, and their 2 losses, Ohio State and Louisville. So you never know. I mean, Clemson could win all 4 of these games. They got the team to do it. It's just like you said, mental mistakes holding the ball. Of course, head coach Marcus Freeman's in his second season. He's 16-6 overall. Their offensive coordinator Gerald Parker is his first year at Notre Dame. Former Notre Dame tight end coach. He's got this team looking really good. I mean, I'm looking at the quarterback Sam Hartman. We already know about Sam Hartman. He has led up Clemson in the past at Wake Forest. This year he's at Notre Dame. He's a graduate, 34 rushes for 8 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he's thrown one for 149 for 228 for 2,126 yards and 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. God, he is lighting it up.
He's slinging it, Jay.
And we're not used to Notre Dame being slinging it. They're more, yeah, they sling it to the tight ends, but they got, we'll talk a little bit later about their injury before they got a tight end out, but just the way he's lighting it up. And he wanted to go to Notre Dame for a reason. He wanted to show that the mesh is not the only reason why he's a great quarterback.
Gotcha.
And I'm looking at the wide receivers. Wow. All of them, 17 receptions for over 300 yards apiece. Their main one is Chris Tyree, 19 receptions for 417 yards, 3 touchdowns. Their defense, Al Golden, of course, we know about Al Golden, former Cincinnati linebackers coach. He's also coached at Miami some. He has turned this defense around. Their defensive end, Javonte Jean, 34 tackles, 3 for TFLs, and he's already got a sack and 1 FR. So he is just. What can you say, man, about them? They played tough teams, and they've only got 1 loss against Ohio State. Basically, I call that their toughest team that they've played so far on their schedule.
That Louisville loss too, Jay. That Louisville team. That's a pretty good football team. The more I watch them as well, too, they're not a bad looking football team.
I agree with you. And the one thing I want to get with you on is Notre Dame's offense. Like we had just talked about, they were known for running the ball, having those big boys up front, offensive line. Our defense cannot play gas in the second half versus this offense. So like you were saying before, we've got to get our scores in the first quarter. We've got to get our scores in the second quarter. We've got to keep this defense as fresh as they can be for the second half, because if we run them like they did NC State, where it was like they basically were on the field the whole game.
Yeah.
We got to do something better.
We got to win the time of possession as far as our offense in comparison to Notre Dame. So offense definitely needs to step up this game and help our defense out. Defense, I feel like, has been holding it on this season, but just like we mentioned before, like, you get tired. Those guys are going to get tired. Well, if you rotate them out, we don't feel that long. I mean, it's just a matter of time for a big player one happens where they get one. So offensively, we need to figure it out in this game. We need to figure it out. I mean, whether that means implementing some more stuff to get Brennan Stool more touches, because we see he was a game leader from the NC State game, and I'm glad to see that he's finally coming on for what people, the fans, thought he was going to be. So he's feeding him, then hey, we need to feed him. And I know we have some. What is the deal? Did they say? I haven't seen anything else in the media sports report, but is Shipley going to play?
What I have right now is that Shipley is still out. Of course, Marcus Tate's out for the year, which means we've shuffled the offensive line all again.
We definitely don't need to do nothing like that. We're already not that great there anyway.
Yeah, they said they got Tristan Lee potentially shifting back to right guard and Mitchell Mays, who previously filled when Tate was injured last season, moving to left.
Yeah.
So
that'd be real. That'd be real interesting to see how that chemistry looks tomorrow, Jay. That'd be because we struggled all year running the football, and man, if Shipley is out, that's man, I don't even know what to say about that one.
Yeah, it says that he remains day to day. They won't know till, of course, tomorrow morning when the injury report comes out. Maffa right now is.
They're playing chess. They're playing chess. And you know when it comes to a concussion protocol, you know whether you're going to play this game or not.
Exactly. And something else we need to look at is left guard Colin Sadler and also wide receiver Tyler Brown are out injured right now, but are listed as anticipated to play. So we'll have to look at that, see what we stand there.
No, man, I hate to hear that because Tyler Brown, with the exception of Brinkstool, has been our guy at the receiver position. He's been the one stepping up, making plays for us. I think he's been the most consistent this year at the receiver position based off injuries and things of that nature, but he's been the most productive.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have him. If we don't have him, the rest of those guys, Bo Collins, Antonio, they're going to have to step up.
Yep, and Antonio's been injured most of the year too, so we've been really playing something that we've talked about every single week that I told you I didn't want to get into is having to wait till Saturday morning to find out who's going to be available to play. Because that's what we did all last year. We didn't know who was going to be on the injury report. It seemed like every time you turn around, 2 or 3 of your top stars were not playing the game. And I know injuries come with the territory, especially this time of year, and all that. But it just got to where it's like, man, for so many years, we didn't have to worry about the injury report. It was always the second tier guys or a third tier guy. It was a backup. Now your top stars are getting injured, and it's like, who's that person going to replace them? And the guys that are replacing them are just not stepping up.
Yeah, that's where that drop off comes in. That's where I don't know. Those guys that's why I said whatever about the comment I made about the guys being in the locker room. Somebody in the locker room has to, say light a fire under those guys behind, man. It's like, hey, this is our season. This is on us, especially the seniors. You would figure somebody, should be. And who's to say that that's not being said, but it's not being grasped, but everybody, because that's clearly being seen based off our production and the fact that we haven't been winning football games.
I agree with you. 100%. And the thing that also I want to look at, and I want to get your perspective, is when you have these guys that are high schoolers coming in.
Yeah.
One thing that we were talking about, and I'll bring up Furman because that's who I cover a lot more of right now, so I'm more in depth with them, is high schooler recruiting is really being hurt by this portal. And they are really having a lot of trouble. Now, it's not at the FCS level as much, but it's killing recruiting at the FBS level. What is your thoughts on that? Because, you deal with high schoolers. You've been a coach that, does work, and you see these young men, and one of the big things actually, I'll tell you, one of the former Clemson players made this comment. Back when we played, there was nothing to do after we got it, done with practice. The camaraderie was so much better, whereas now, guys put headphones and they're out the door, or they're doing this, and it's not that mesh.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on that.
That brotherhood, in a sense, like there's, I mean, just looking from the outside in and just having that experience at that collegiate level as well, they just, I've just seen it just from a societal standpoint just trickle down and have sports being affected. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a ring. And I think that has hurt sports in a sense because that's not the case. And you're setting a false sense of expectation. So now you have a bunch of entitled, spoiled, bratty behind little athletes that feel entitled and obligated, even though they haven't put in any work.
Yeah.
So they're one, you don't see they're afraid to compete. Once they're faced with a little bit of adversity, they want to run or quit instead of, stepping up and compete. I'm like, hey, I have a bad game, I have a bad practice. I'm damn sure not gonna come back and have a bad practice the next day or so. It's just gonna motivate me to want to do better. Like they don't take constructive criticism very well. So I think as a whole, the team is affected by it as well. As far as if you break down the individual groups, the receiver position, defensive line, it just depends on the mentality. They don't have the same kill mentality. And of course, you got all kinds of other distractions as well. Social media. I mean, all we had back when I was playing, we had Facebook. Facebook was just coming on. Of course, we had MySpace, but access to people here across the country, across the world, we didn't have it like that when I was playing it. And I think a lot of that people, they want microwave success.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, they want microwave success. They wanted to have it right now. They need it right now. They don't want to put in the time. They don't want to be persistent. They don't want to be consistent and to reap the harvest of their, of their work. They're putting their hands to the plow and preparing their field for rain. They want everything right now. And if it doesn't happen right now, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's true.
I am out of here.
It's crazy that even though there's not a portal for high school, in a lot of ways there is, because now you got athletes, well, if I can't start here at this school, I'll just go to this school. And the parents are just getting up and moving. And to get them into it, and I understand it, well, I'm looking at their long-term future, but it's like, wow, you basically got the portal at the high school level, and I know we're ranting off and going off the course here a little bit, but it does go into what's going on.
Yeah, it does. It's all relevant. It's all relevant. You see it at those. You see it at the professional level.
Yeah.
You see it at the professional level. That's the day and age that we are at, Jay, as far as when it comes to sports and athletics. I mean, that's just where we're at with it. And so, as coaches, and what I've seen, and I'm old school, just based on how I was coached, they're having to adapt in order to cater to these kids because they're not as tough. They're not as tough mentally or physically. And I mean, they soft. And they are soft. Not saying this everyone, but as a whole, I think from top to bottom, they're not nearly as tough, man. They can't handle it.
I agree with you. Well, Airese, we kind of went through the Notre Dame. Is there anything you want to add on that particular game that's coming up before we get to our picks for this week?
Not necessarily, besides the fact that we touched on it earlier as far as in order to have a chance, we just need to protect the football. We can't turn the football over. It's as simple as that. I don't have any doubts of what we can do offensively or defensively, but we cannot hurt ourselves or shoot ourselves in the foot because clearly, as we've been doing that all year, we've been coming out with that big old L each time that we've done it.
Exactly. And key players of the game, offense and defense. I'm going to go first on this one. I think on offense, we need to get Adam Randall in this game. This is the game where he can use his speed and help us out. Normally, I would say Bo Collins. He's my favorite wide receiver, but right now, I think Adam Randall needs to be that one that he needs to get out on the field, show himself. From what I understand, he's been doing a lot more in practice this week. So I say Adam Randall. And then on defense, we need to see something out of Tyler Davis.
Yeah.
He is a graduate senior. Now, that's not saying he's been bad, so I don't want people thinking, oh, what are you talking about? He's been doing his part. I just think
You
he
just
should
want to see him have a breakout game.
Yeah, we need a breakout game from him, coming up the middle, blowing up Sam, because he basically took Sam Hartman out of Wake Forest a couple games and, blew up by blowing up the middle. So I think this is his game to do that, and that will free up T.J. Parker. That'll free up Woods. So let's have those two. Who do you think needs to be key players in the game?
I definitely agree with you with the defense picking Tyler Davis. I think he needs to be that game breaker, that game changer for our defense in this game. Just, guys of the likes that we've had in the past, like a Christian Wilkins and stuff like that. He needs to have that type of productivity. And for me, like I mentioned earlier, I think Jake Brandstone needs to keep doing like whatever we need to do, whatever we need to conjure up with him, schematic wise, scheme wise, middle of the field, whatever it may be. We need to get up the ball because he looks like he's hungry. So I'm going to continue to keep beating.
And of course,
and that'll open up other guys like Adam Randall, Adam Randall, Tyler Brown, things like that. Because once we start getting double teams on him, that big target, those guys are going to be free.
Exactly, and of course, with both of us picking receivers, tight end and wide receiver, that all depends on Klubnik. So we need Klubnik to be able to read the defense and get the ball out. So that's for sure. All right, well, let's go for our game picks of this week. Brought to you by Ardens Burger Grill here in Central South Carolina. All right, Aries, I'm going to let you do first as always. Who is your 5 picks this week? And of course, last week, Aries is beating me now by 9 games. Half of mine were not even close. A couple of them were close, but man, I got destroyed. So I'm going to be a little more cautious this week. But Aries, who do you got?
All right, first I have UGA over Mizzou. Although I think Mizzou is playing well, I don't think they'll have enough to come out with the win against UGA. So UGA over Mizzou. I got the Huskies over the Trojans, based off our conversation last week. I got them over the Trojans, definitely. I think they got too much off-the-field stuff going on with the Trojans right now, so I think that's going to be a distraction for them. So I got the Huskies winning that football game. I got Bama over LSU.
Whoa!
I'm taking Bama over LSU. Even though Bama's not the same Bama that we've seen in previous years, I think they'll still pull out the win versus LSU. We're gonna call it the saving factor. It's like the Belichick thing. Then I got Penn State over Maryland. I don't think Maryland can play with Penn State. Penn State will beat up on Maryland pretty good. And then last but not least, I'm gonna step out there on a limb with this and I've watched them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for a few weeks this season. Jay, I got Jacksonville State Gamecocks over the Carolina Gamecocks.
Whoa! You got South Carolina losing to Jacksonville State? Wow! Now, hey, I might gain one spot on you.
Carolina is beat up. They are beat up. They are down. They're down to slim pickings. They got all kinds of scholarship guys injured. And man, Jacksonville State is scrappy. I mean, that offense they run is extremely fast paced. I don't think Carolina's gonna be ready for it.
All right. Well. Whew. All right. Man. But Furman had South Carolina on the ropes until the final minute of the second quarter. So
that's what I'm saying. And Jacksonville State can light it up, man. They can light it up. They got a nice little offensive scheme. Rich Ryan has those guys, but he doesn't play.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with Kansas State over Texas as my upset special of the week. 25th ranked Kansas State. They got a great team, and I just think that Texas is a little too hyped, and I think Kansas State's going to go into Texas and take that one. Give me Rice. make sure I had that correct. Yep, give me Rice. Give me Rice over SMU this week. Being played at Rice, I think SMU is a great team, but I think Rice is really coming into their own. I agree with you. Give me Washington over USC. I had that game picked already. So, and then let's see. Also, give me New Mexico over UNLV. And give me LSU over Alabama. In Alabama. And this one, I threw this one up there. Give me Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. That's my final one for this week.
I like that pick. I looked at that as a pick. That was going to be my fifth pick if I didn't choose Jacksonville State over USC. So I definitely think that's a great pick right there, Jay.
Now, I wanted to throw this out there because, I was looking. Do you realize you can go to an SEC game for $4? The game between Mississippi State and Kentucky, tickets are selling for $4.
Yeah.
It just means more.
Wow.
I was like, are you kidding me? $4? And
that's like the cost of student tickets back in the day when I was in school or so.
Exactly. So that's crazy. Of course, we want to thank everybody here at Ardens for the Ardens Burger and Grill pick segment. And now let's get to our Clemson scores. What do we got, Airese? Where you got Clemson this week?
Man, I'm gonna go. I know I've been I'm 0 for 3 or total pass or wherever I'm at with it, but I'm sticking with my Clemson Tigers. I'm going Clemson Tigers. I say we 31-28 Clemson Tigers. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a dog fight, but I think we come out on top. 31-28 is my prediction, Jay.
And Airese, we're actually on the same page. I got 31-24 Clemson. I just think we score a late touchdown off special teams. It helps us out. And I figure a punt return. I'm hoping it's Adam Randall. So let's do it. 31-24 Clemson for me.
Okay.
All right. We want to thank everybody. Airese, tell everybody where they can find you real quick before we go.
Well, if you're on IG, you can find me on IG, Airese_Currie, as well on Facebook, Airese Currie, the same on TikTok, Airese_Currie. If you're in need of your primary care needs, looking for a primary care provider, feel free to reach out lionsheartprimary.com, and that is Lions, LYONS, heartprimary.com. Feel free to contact us at 844-759-6647, and we can help you and serve you in several areas with our practice, whether that be DOT, physical, sports physicals, just your family medicine needs. The list goes on. Feel free to contact us if you're in need of any of those services.
All right. We want to thank everybody here at Ardens Burger and Grill, Clemson Wine Bar in Patrick Square. Also want to thank Upstate Physical Therapy in Henderson. And we've got 5 seconds, so